With all the external factors surrounding this upcoming matchup with Washington State, a potential rivalry could be built out of it, the return of students, and the significance of a first conference meeting, how is this team approaching it from a motivational standpoint? Like, how do you balance playing with emotion in a high-stakes game while staying disciplined and focused and within yourself and within the game plan?
I think what our team has seen is the immense respect our staff has for their staff and what they've been able to do with that program and what that program means for the state of Washington. And then also knowing that, hey, we're just right around the corner. And so the motivation to play someone that close to you, that's exciting. You grew up wanting those moments, but focus on how good this team is. Keeps you focused, keeps you engaged. There's no slippage that we can have because how well they're coached and how individually skilled their players are. So it's one of those matchups where our guys will be locked in.
Speaking of respect for the staff, head coach David Riley described your team as a really well-coached, aggressive defensively and physically inside. How do you make sure your team embodies those qualities night in and night out, and how do you want to take that mentality into this rivalry game?
I mean, the Zags are gonna be Zags. So we're gonna play the way that we play for the last, since Coach Few's been there, since the staff has been together, the Zags are gonna zag. And so we're gonna play with force, we're gonna play with continuity, we're gonna play with teamwork, and we're gonna make the hustle plays.
And Coach Riley also mentioned that Gonzaga is one of the best teams in the country. What's your mindset as you prepare for games like this, especially when facing teams who are motivated by the challenge of taking down a top-tier Gonzaga?
Man, the motivation is internal. Like making sure that all our players reach their goals. And so it's really hard to find motivation outside of what's inside our room and making sure that we reach our internal goals. And that's to make sure we respect the alumni that hung up the banners by playing the brand of basketball they can respect.
And he also mentioned how the team, the Zags' competitiveness and the challenges they faced in the fall have helped them remain poised in tight situations. So how do you ensure your players stay composed with their emotions when they run high in a rivalry game like this?
You can't ensure that. You go out there and you play the game. And you leave it up to finding a way to accomplish the mission, as Coach Few says. But you can't ensure those things. If you can ensure those things, then somebody be rich selling emotional insurance. So you just gotta make sure your players play with energy, they protect each other, and then we accomplish the mission.
Coaches often emphasize the impact of the crowd, especially the student section. But do you believe it's just as important for players to draw motivation and energy from each other rather than relying too much on maybe an external atmosphere? And how do you cultivate that internal drive within the team?
The kennel's special now, so you can't duplicate that but just your internal team. That's what makes the campus special, is how important the student body is to that atmosphere. So that's unique. So like our guys, we can get them as emotional and pumped up as we want. When they see that someone who's in their math class sitting, jumping up in the stands, that's a different emotional pull in a game. You can't duplicate that, and it's a big advantage for us when we have that, and our guys feed off that. If I can find a way to make them play with that emotion without the fans in there, I will keep on searching. But I think what makes it special is our guys are in class, they're walking the campus, in the family feel of Spokane, they see those fans on a day-to-day basis, and then they see the support, and that makes you run a little harder, it makes you dive on the floor a little more. That's the emotion that the kennel brings.